everybody, Call here in my Call to Music workshop doing a seasonal tune-up on my Fender Jazz Bass. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to do a quick video on how to adjust the truss rod, action, and intonation. Save a little money by doing it yourself, as long as you know how to do it right. So yeah, let's dive right in. Okay, so if you're just here for the quick answer about the truss rod, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and think of tightening as pulling down or back on the headstock here. In other words, tighten to decrease relief and straighten the neck, or loosen to increase relief in the middle here and add some bow to the neck. Some people will leave tension on the strings when adjusting the truss rod. I don't like to. Plus, being a 5-string, of course, the A is right in the middle, so you got no choice really in the matter anyway. But what I do to make the detuning and retuning a bit easier in this process, I just turn each string backward 10 times, knock the A out of the way there, adjust a quarter turn at a time, no more than a quarter turn at a time, and then retighten it, check it out, see if it's good, and repeat if needed. My bass has a pretty significant upward bow, so I'm going to be tightening my truss rod to bring it back a little bit. Best way to tell what it needs, put a finger on the first fret, put a finger at the end, and then if you got play in the middle, you got too much relief. Alright, so adjusting your action is really just a matter of personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer. I like to have mine pretty low, not too low. I like to get aggressive sometimes. So this is the Deluxe Series Jazz Bass. I'm not actually sure exactly what makes it deluxe, but this happens to be 16th inch hex wrench for this adjustment. So we're going to bring the action down just a little bit, which means I'm turning this screw counterclockwise to loosen and let the bridge settle down a little more. The most important thing is, just like with the truss rod, make sure you have exactly the right size Allen wrench for this, because it's going to be real easy to end up costing yourself more money by damaging the bridge than you're saving by doing it yourself in the first place. So just be careful, make sure you got the right tools for the job, and be all good.
Something about that bass and bottom bumping, rhythmic thumping, got you jumping, primal timing, booty humping, dumping, chunks of clumpy funkin'. The groove is soft and soothing, got your mind and body moving, biologically approving the anatomy of grooving.
Alright, so now we're gonna adjust the intonation, which basically means tuning the bass to itself. So what we want to do is make sure that the octave fret is exactly halfway between the bridge and the nut. That way when we play on the octave, it's going to be the exact same note as when we're playing the string open. Pretty easy. All we got to do is hook up a tuner. If you don't have a tuning pedal or a effects pedal with a built-in tuner or anything like that, there are dozens of apps out there you can get for free. I like to use the G-Strings free version. It was actually the first app I ever downloaded when I got my first smartphone back in the olden days, as my kids would say. Okay, so this bass doesn't actually need a whole lot of adjustment because I keep it pretty well tuned. So what I've done is actually moved the bridge on the E string just so I can give you an example of how to fix this. So you can see when we play the open E, perfectly in tune. Oh, little flat. Bring it up with hair. Okay, so we got our E in tune, play the octave, you can see we're a little sharp. So what that means is that the length from the octave to the bridge is slightly shorter than the distance from the octave to the nut. So what we need to do is increase the total length of the string. For me, it's just a Phillips screwdriver. Again, just like with the truss rod and the action, you want to make sure you have exactly the right tool, whether it's a hex wrench or a screwdriver, whatever. Now we know we have to increase the total length of our E string, so we just take our screwdriver and go clockwise to pull this E bridge back a little bit. Just going to do a few turns and see how that looks. Then you're going to have to retune at the bottom again. Okay, and the octave, still a little sharp, so we'll give it another turn clockwise to tighten and pull that bridge back. Retune at the bottom. Retune at the octave. See, we're actually a little flat now, which means the length is too long. So do half a turn back. Sometimes to loosen, you'll have to kind of take the tension off the string and give it a little push forward. At least on this bridge you have to do that. Good at the bottom. And we're good. So then, yeah, you just go through that process on all the strings. You'll be good to go. I've been playing this jazz bass for over 20 years. I love it. It's reliable. It's durable. It's still got all the original parts. I've never had problems with it. As long as you keep up on the routine maintenance, you can keep your favorite bass for a long time too. So in the next video, I'm going to do a complete makeover of this thing. I've got some pretty cool ideas for it. I'll be doing some deep cleaning, possibly resoldering some of the electrical wiring. I know that my input jack is getting a little wiggly here. I'm going to check that out. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video informative, if not entertaining. All right, have a good one, guys.
The anatomy of